Hey everybody, Zach Fernandez 92 here with a top 10 list actually. I've been wanting to make this kind of list for some time now, and now that the Switch has been out for about a year and a half or so now, there's been some really good games, and then unfortunately a lot of Wii U ports, something I'm 100% against. But anyway, this is my top 10 list of games that I want on Nintendo Switch. Now, not everyone's pick from what you guys want would be on this list. This is just my own list that I really want to see coming into the Switch. I know most of these are most likely highly unlikely, but I still wanted to share with you what the ones I've wanted on the Switch since its launch. And now that it's been out for a year and a half, will be 2 years next year already, which cannot believe it's been that long already. But this took me a while to kind of list, at least a little bit anyway, mainly because I've been wanting these games, either a sequel or collections of it on the Switch, something I really wish would happen someday. Now, there are some honorable mentions, not too many of them, but I will get to them once I reach right before number 1. But for my number 10 spot, I would like to have a new Paper Mario game. And as much as I really like Color Splash, it's actually my favorite one of the franchise. Kind of wish they would go back to at least the original Paper Mario gameplay style. Visuals of this, gameplay of the original. I really like this a lot. Most people will disagree, and most likely 99% of you guys. I can't stand Thousand Year Door. I just don't like it. Nothing appeals in it for me. Thousand Year Door is my least favorite, but my number 1 favorite is Color Splash. Then I'd say Paper Mario 64 would be my second favorite. Then Super Paper Mario, then Sticker Star, then Thousand Year Door would be last. But anyway, Color Splash for me was a great game, and I would like to see some of the mechanics from this game return if they did make a new game, but mixed in with the original gameplay of the Paper Mario 64 style. Paper Mario 64 came out, in 2001, I think, almost at the end of the N64's lifespan. And it was one of the last games to be released by Nintendo themselves, I think. I know Pokemon Stadium 2 came out the same year, but I just don't remember which one came first. Granted, Pokemon's made by Game Freak and not Nintendo, but still. Paper Mario Color Splash was a great game, and it was unfortunate that it probably didn't sell well because people didn't like the Sticker Star mechanic. And I don't know, I think this is just infinitely better than Sticker Star. Sticker Star was good, at least okay to me. But I really enjoyed Color Splash. The visuals, the comedy, the story, and the gameplay. I really love the gameplay. I guess I'm just alone on that one. New Paper Mario on this Nintendo Switch would be amazing. Cannot wait if they would ever do that. That was number 10. And then now, okay, it's a tad bit hard for me to keep this balanced. Now my number 9 pick would be for a game that was unfortunately ported to the Switch, and I won't ever buy it. Mainly because I got this game when it first came out, and I feel no need to upgrade it because there's nothing added to the game that's worthwhile. It's a game called Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. This is my original copy that I unboxed on my channel years ago before it got HD quality videos. And unfortunately, I don't have professional lighting, so I get this horrible yellow light. So that's why I have to use my flashlight on my phone in order to get this good quality, decent quality. Tropical Freeze is a great game, but I would like to see another one in the country style. I don't know. It does play differently than the original Donkey Kong Country trilogy on the Super Nintendo, which is amazing. And this is by far, to me, I don't know, say by far. I would say it's on par with the original trilogy. This one and Returns. But I would like to see Donkey Kong Country, what is it? This was number 5 technically, if you want to be technical. Because there's Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, 3, Donkey Kong Country Returns, then Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I'm not counting the Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Land, not Donkey Kong Country. Anyway, I would like to see that same gameplay, maybe even the same characters, just with maybe a couple added new ones. This game was This game was incredibly hard. I honestly have not beaten it since I bought it in 2014. I have to really be in the mood for a game for me to even play it. As much as I love the Donkey Kong Country series, I just haven't been in the mood for them recently. I'll get into them someday for sure. And I've made it to, I think, maybe World 4, I think? 3 or 4? And that's pretty much it. And I know the visuals look great in this game. The gameplay is just fine. And I do hope that they do make a new Donkey Kong Country game in some way, shape, or form on the Switch that's not just a Wii U port. Maybe even, see, who makes this now other than just Nintendo? Does it say? Does not say. I think it was Retro Studio. I think it was the company who owns them right now. Well, not owns, but makes the Country series. I would like to see a new Donkey Kong Country for the Switch, not just a port. And maybe even a remake of the original Donkey Kong Country games with this visual style. That would be really cool. Donkey Kong Country remakes of the original trilogy on the Switch. All 3 games, fully remastered from the ground up. That would be amazing using this graphical style. Maybe even a little bit nicer now that the Switch is a little bit more powerful than a Wii U. But that was my number 9 choice. And I'm definitely hoping that someday they'll make a new Donkey Kong Country game. Sorry, my throat's a little dry. Didn't bring water with me right now. Okay. Now, my number 8 spot was a game that I loved when it first came out. Was it 2010? This does not say. I'm positive it was 2010 is when this came out. This game was amazing on the original Wii, but was never remastered. Now that the Switch is out and it's 2 generations later, I'm definitely ready for this game to be either fully remastered or a sequel to this game. It's going to be Sonic Colors. I would like to see a remaster of this game on the Switch. Maybe even throw in Sonic Generations as a side thing with it or something. But Colors looks great on the Wii, and I mean outstanding. If you haven't played this game on the Wii, I think you can get it for like, what, $20 now? It's a fantastic game, and this is unfortunately not my original copy. My original copy had the holographic cover art on it, and this one's in pretty okay shape. It's not even that bad condition. I think this one was actually at like a rental store or something, because it still had like the little rental tag on the center of the disc. I'm going to replace that and get the right one. But Sonic Colors was an amazing game, amazing music. It was just fun, and I really liked the goofy little cutscenes too that they had with it. This is Roger Craig Smith's first appearance? No, huh? I think it was his first appearance. Yeah, I think this was his first appearance, unless it was Sonic and Racing, Sonic Sega All Stars Racing, one or the other. But this game is fantastic. Deserves a remake or a sequel on the Switch. Maybe both. That would be amazing, Sega. Get back the original team who made this game and just remaster this bad boy into full HD. Make it look like Sonic Lost World's visuals. Sonic Lost World is an amazing game, definitely is underrated, and definitely has amazing visuals. And I think if they use that visual style on this game, or maybe even look a little nicer, I think this game definitely deserves a remake onto the Switch, and I can't believe it's already been, 8 years since this game came out? Was it 2009 or 2010? I could have sworn it was one of those 2 years. If that's the case, this game's just getting older and older and definitely needs a remaster. Honestly, the gameplay itself is just fine. I don't think they need to really fix anything that I can think of. I think the only thing that I would like them to add was like a better multiplayer mode. This one's multiplayer mode was like, 21 dedicated levels. So there weren't real stages from the Sonic universe, which was very disappointing, which I wish they did have in it, but that was the only downside I can think of. Oh man, my dry throat. But tell me comments below what you guys. Not girls. Hey, not the video yet. But anyway, that's Sonic Colors. My number 8 is 9, 10, 9, 8. Yep, number 8. Definitely worth your time if you have not played this game. If you have a Wii, get it. If you have a Wii U, get it because it looks a little nicer on there. And if they do make this remake this on the Switch, I would definitely buy it instantly. And please make it a physical copy. I'm tired of all these digital copy games. Huh. Now, this one's an obscure game. There are some third-party title games here that I have been wanting to put on a list, mainly due because some of these games are very rare, and granted, probably not the most expensive, but in terms of like its actual print run was very rare and obscure. And I'm probably the only one who actually, wants this remastered on the Switch. Sorry, my flashlight does not want to stay. But anyway, this is going to be for an exclusive GameCube game that came out in 2004. So 14 years ago. This would be actually great if they remastered it in 2019 for its 15th anniversary. It's going to be for Zoids Battle Legends. This was only for the Nintendo GameCube. This is a copy that I got, I think, maybe a year or so ago. Well, not really mid condition. It still has like the old like shelfware, but other than that, it's in really great condition. I did a retro unboxing for this on my channel, so if you want to see that, just type in retro unboxing Zoids, and it should pop up. This was made by Atari, which is no longer making video games anymore. I've heard that they're rumored that they're trying to make a console. But this would be an amazing game to be remastered on the Switch with better controls, better visuals, more Zoids, but still base it off the Liger Zero, which is the Zoids New Century Zero, with Big Cloud as the main character. This was by far my favorite Zoids series. I watched the original first, and I really liked it, and New Century Zero was even better, at least my personal opinion. This game definitely has aged in terms of its gameplay style. Its visuals look still good to me. I still think the Zoids look really good. And I do think that this game, if remastered, could do decent in sales. They just had to advertise it like crazy. Not sure how well it did with most people, but I've seen reviews online that had okay scores on it. They can tone down some of the voices from the characters when they're fighting in the Zoids, or you could just turn them off either way. But I think they could do a little bit better in terms of the camera control, the aiming reticles, how the shots are fired, the little faster paced close combat. I think they could do a lot better with it. This game is good, for sure. It's not perfect, not even remotely. It definitely has some issues, but it's still a fun game for me to enjoy. And my friend, who also had this game when he was younger, was a huge fan of this series as well. And this game deserves a remake in some way, shape, or form on the Switch. Maybe even just a straight-up port, I guess, for just HD visuals. As much as I would prefer a remake, I'd even want that. I'm a big Zoids fan, and I would definitely think that this deserves some credit, some attention. Tell me what you think about that one, because I know for sure that I would love to see this remade. That was my number 7, I believe. 10, 9, 8, 7. Yep. On to number 6. Now, this game was a handheld game that released in 2008, I believe. Yes, 2008. Now, the original one came out, I believe, in 2000, and I'm going to say 5? I think? No, 2007, I think. No, can't be 2007. Can't be 2007. It has to be like 2005 or so. Or 2004. I think it's 2005. Sorry to confuse everybody, but this is for Mega Man Star Force 3 Black Ace. Now, what I would like them to do is either remake the original trilogy games, and then, like, on the cartridge itself, you could choose which versions of the first 3 games you want to use. Or you can have a separate file for each one. You could do one for Leo, one for Pegasus, one for Dragon, for the original Mega Man Star Force. And for Mega Man Star Force 2, Zerker X Sauron and Zerker X Ninja, you can have one file for each as well. And same thing with Mega Man Star Force 3, Black Ace, or Red Joker. Those two would, all those games would be great to just even have them as a collection on the Switch, like they would do with the Mega Man Legacy Collection. I know they probably wouldn't go anywhere after the X series, but as a Mega Man fan, I would really, really like them to go to the RPG route, which is honestly where I got my start in Mega Man. I mean, I played a little bit of the originals in X, and then I got my friends got me into the Battle Network series, and I didn't really get into the Network series until Battle Network 6, which I think was Gregor and Fowler. and I believe Gregor was the one I liked because it was a lion. But anyway, Mega Man Star Force 1 is where I got absolutely hooked into the gameplay because of the visuals, the gameplay, and I just really think this game is underrated. Black Ace is definitely by far the best of the 3 games of the Star Force trilogy. Star Force 1, great story, good gameplay, nice visuals. Star Force 2, even better. Better visuals, better gameplay, and just more character. Star Force 3 took up even more of a notch, a little bit darker toned. I think this game definitely deserves more credit than rather any hate. And the music is fantastic with this game. If you have not played any Mega Man Star Wars game, you are just not... what's the word? Not exploring the Mega Man series that much, past just the 2D platformers. I like Mega Man and Mega Man X. I like those 2 franchises of the originals a lot. But I didn't really get into them after... until like really after the Star Force game started, until at least I got into it. Star Force 3, or Star Force in general, Star Force 4 would be amazing to have on a Switch. I would either have a Mega Man Star Force collection on Switch, or Mega Man Star Force 4, which would be amazing. 3 had a good ending, and I really think that if they didn't want him to do that, they could at least do like a collection on the Switch and have a little bit better, nicer resolution. Or they could even remake all 3 games and still have the selection file of each game. So like Star Force 1, Pegasus, Leo, Dragon, Star Force 2, Zerker X Sauron, Zerker X Ninja, or 3, Black Ace or Red Joker. Definitely worth the time. These games aren't, well, the first two games aren't that hard to find. 3 is the hardest one to find, and I found this, I'm blessed to even find this thing. Mainly because when I was at my local game store, they had the cartridge alone, and I was like, oh man, I wish I had the box for this. One of the coworkers said, oh, I think we might actually have the box. Here, let me go find one. And little behold, they actually had the entire case in the back room. It did come with the manual. I'm pretty sure I did a retro unboxing for it before. This is a real case of Mega Man Star Force 3 Black Ace, and with its manual and everything. This game alone can worth maybe about $70 to $100 or so for this game. You could probably, if you find it for less than 70, then you're lucky, because of how rare this game is. Star Force 3 Black Ace is definitely the most rare of the 3 games. The Zerker games aren't terribly hard to find. The first 3 aren't really that hard to find either. I think the hardest of the original 3 to ever find was Dragon. Star Force 3 Red Joker is a little bit easier to find as well, and not as pricey as Black Ace. But anyway, I've been blabbering on too much about this. This was my number 6 pick, and I am ready to go on to number 5. Now, this one was released on the Wii U in 2013? 2013, it's already been 5 years. Wow, time went by fast. They do have a 4th one in the making, they said, but they didn't really say if it was going to be for Switch. I think they said it was originally going to be a Wii U. So I'm not sure if it's even going to, even if it's in the works anymore, or if it is, then they're probably not doing too much to advance too much more to bring it to the Switch. It's going to be for Pikmin. Pikmin 1 and 2 and 3 are fantastic games. 3 being my favorite. 3, this is not my original 3 because it's a Nintendo Selects version. My original one I did on my channel was actually the original. And I was stupid to ever get rid of it because of that thing being super rare to find. These versions are super easy to find. The original version of Pikmin 3 is super hard to find. But same game, but absolutely amazing visuals, great gameplay, great characters. There is no Captain Olimar or, is he Louie? I think it's Louie. I don't remember Pikmin 2's like sidekick, or Olimar sidekick from Pikmin 2. But honestly, I didn't get into the Pikmin series until Pikmin 3. When Pikmin 3 was coming out, I was preparing myself to get into the series, so I bought Pikmin 1 and 2 on the Wii for the motion controls, because I know that the GameCube version, as much as I would like to have the original ones of those, I'm not sure if I can get used to the control style without the motion controls anymore because of how spoiled I am with Pikmin 3 and Pikmin 1 and 2 with the Wii remote. This game is amazing. I really don't want any Wii U ports of this at all. I just want a Pikmin 4 for the Switch. That's what I'd really like to see. Bring back some of the Pikmin from Pikmin 3, like the Rock Pikmin and the Winged Pikmin, and even bring back the original leaders from this game. Let's see, there we go. Charlie, Alf and Brittany. Brittany's obviously the pink. Alfie is the smallest one, he's blue. And Charlie is the biggest one, and he is green. There was like a beta character for Delta D. I think his name was Delta or something. But anyway, Pikmin 4 would be fantastic, and I would really like to see what the Switch could do in terms of its visuals. Because the Wii U version, not Wii U version, the Pikmin 3 for the Wii U looks amazing. Some of the textures on the ground never even looked good to that point, but most of the environment looked great. I just really like just how this game presents itself. It looks great, plays great, and I really like how they did like the bonus missions that you could purchase via DLC. There was one free stage that came out of it, I think like a year or so after the game's release. It was a Christmas stage. It's actually one of my favorite stages now. Well, has been for a while. I have beaten this game, and man was it hard. Mainly the final boss, though. Not the actual whole game wasn't really that bad. But if you want to watch some gameplay of this, definitely recommend watching Chugga Conroy's Let's Play for this game on his channel. It is an absolute blast to watch his Let's Plays because he's incredibly hilarious. He's really good at giving out details about the games without stuttering like I do. He does a much better job. He's much more used to this kind of thing. He's used to this. Speaking out. And I'm not speaking out, but speaking without stuttering and saying a lot like I do. Anyway, sorry. Going to the next spot. This will be number 4. And right before I get to number 1, I'll give you my honorable mentions. But anyway, this is something I've been wanting since the Switch was even announced in 2016. Yeah, 2016, in late 2016, when they finally announced it instead of being coded NX anymore. This is something I super want. I mean, I really, 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 really want this. So, Square Enix, Eidos, Rocksteady, DC, Warner Brothers, if you're listening to me, you know what this is going to be for. The Batman Arkham Trilogy. And I would say bring Arkham Knight, and it is my favorite of these 4 games, but I know the Switch is not powerful enough for this game. I mean, I know it's powerful enough for Breath of the Wild, but it uses a great different graphical engine. This one has the Unreal Engine, I believe. Yeah, Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is what this game is rendered on. And as much as this would be fun on the Switch, I know I can't really see that ever being on the Switch. Now, but as for Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Armored Edition specifically, and Arkham Origins, all 3 games would be fantastic to have on the go. Kicking butt as Batman would be amazing. I mean, there is Blackgate, which is a portable game on the 3DS and a PlayStation Vita, but I didn't like it that much. There were some things I liked on it, but not enough for me to think it's a fantastic game. For the 3DS, it is alright. I do have it also for the Wii U, for Blackgate anyway, and it has the Beware the Batman suit, which is actually amazing, but the game itself is not as nice as these. They're not as fleshed out. But anyway, Arkham, they could do like this thing where they have a triple cartridge set. In the actual case of the game, they'll have 3 separate cartridges. One for Asylum, one for City, Armored Edition specifically, and Arkham Origins, with all the DLC for each of these three games on each cartridge. And honestly, these games are only, what, $20 new now, or less? They can easily do that. They can easily just move them over, maybe make this one look a little nicer like Arkham City and Origins. Origins is by far the most underrated Batman game, other than Knight. Our Knight is appreciated more than this, unfortunately. I beat you 3 times. On my 4th time now. I've beaten Arkham City several times, Arkham Asylum several times. But I would like to play them again. I just am addicted to these games. Batman is my all-time favorite comic book character, and I would really like to see them on the Switch. It would be outstanding. Seeing Arkham Asylum with all the DLC, Arkham City Armored Edition with its DLC, and all the DLC with Batman Arkham Origins. Arkham City, the reason why I keep on saying the Armored Edition specifically is that the Wii U version included some special gear, including these gauntlets that are only for the Wii U version for Batman. It gives him extra power, or strength. Well, not power, strength. This also came with all the DLC at the time as well. Let's see, what else? The BAT mode. Why am I forgetting that? I've played this game several times on both PS3 and Wii U. They could also do in handheld mode the remote control battering with the Switch's gyro controls. Or you can also use that with the Switch's Joy-Con as well. But then also in the touchscreen, if you go into its undocked mode, is that in Arkham City Armor Edition, when you lay down the explosive gel, you can touch on the screen where you want it to explode. I really liked that. And if they incorporated that again with all 3 games instead of just this, that would be outstanding. But anyway, these 3 games is my number 4 choice. I was so close to putting this in my top 3, but there's these other games I wanted just a little bit more. And I mean just a little bit, because these games are amazing to me. Man, I'm going to be playing Batman again tonight. Don't judge me. Those games are amazing. So, number 3 spot would be Metroid. I want a 2D Metroid game on the Switch. Now, I love this game on the 3DS. I got this day 1 when it came out. I unboxed it on my channel, and honestly, you remember this little kind of mini skit in one of my Movie Memories Monday video where I was actually playing this game and pretending to be distracted and by playing the game while instead of making a video. But anyway, this game is amazing, looks amazing on a 3DS, and plays just outstanding. This is by far my favorite 2D Metroid game ever made. Beating out Super Metroid, yes, I said it. I like Super Metroid, and I like Metroid Fusion. But this game is just much better in general. I really like the full 360-degree aiming with the circle pad. If they could incorporate this game but in HD, in the Switch's HD, that game would look outstanding. Outstanding. Oh man, this would be great in HD. I mean, I don't think this should ever be remade on the Switch. I think they should just make a brand new 2D Metroid game. Or if they wanted to, they can remake Super Metroid on the Switch with better visual styles, but the same gameplay as this. Now, Nintendo got help from, I believe, the people who made the Castlevania series to make the game. And if they do that again, but on the Switch, I'd be crying like crazy in excitement. Same thing with Arlo, though. Arlo, he is obsessed with Metroid 2. Well, not Metroid 2, the game, and Metroid as well. I am aware that they are making a 3D Metroid game. It's Metroid Prime 4. I am looking forward to that because the 3D ones are my favorite of the 2 choices. But in terms of 2D, they need to make another one like this. Please, Nintendo. I would really appreciate a Metroid 2D game on the Switch. Whew. Getting down to my last 2 now. Now, this game was hated for some people I can understand, I guess. But from personally to me, I beat this game just recently, even though having it for 2 years, I should have beaten it ages ago. This is Star Fox Zero. I actually just recently beat this about a couple months ago, and man, is the final boss insanely difficult, but fun. It felt so rewarding beating that final boss. This game is amazing, both visually and gameplay. Now, if they try to do this kind of gameplay again, they should at least have the options to turn on or turn off the motion controls. Now, I honestly prefer the motion controls being on for the sake that it makes it easier to aim and to actually fly a little bit sometimes. I do kind of prefer the old style in some way, shape, or form, but I really think this is another great Star Fox game. It's actually my favorite in the Star Fox series. Right after that would be Star Fox 64, then Star Fox Original. But anyway, Star Fox would have definitely... I don't want this ported on Switch at all, because I really like this collection of this game. It comes with 2 actual games. I think I've unboxed this on my channel before. But this is an amazing, underrated game. If you haven't gotten this, it's still $60, but it's a great deal, because you get 2 physical copy games. You get Star Guard along with Star Fox Zero. Worth your time, worth your money, and I do think that if they do make a new Star Fox game, make it a sequel to this. Not a port, a sequel to this game. Man, that would be amazing. This is already an amazing game, I think. Platinum Games and Nintendo had outdone themselves with this game, and I think it's worth the time for a new game. And I don't count Starlink, whatever it's called. I think it's what it's called. Starlink, that space game with Star Fox in it. I mean, that looks interesting, but an actual Star Fox game like this would be amazing. Definitely would like to see a new installment. Before I get to my final, to my number one pick, I'm going to give out a couple honorable mentions. Number one, one of the three choices I was debating on the list was FZero. Well, actually, four. There's a fourth one. But anyway, one of them is FZero. They need a new FZero. It's been since the GameCube and Game Boy Advance since we've had a brand new one. And you can tell that they still like FZero as a franchise, because Mario Kart 8, original, not the deluxe. I mean, granted, it's just a port, not a remake or anything. Excuse me. When they announced DLC, they had the FZero tracks. Two of them. Mute City was one of them, and I do not remember the name of the other one. It's escaping me at the moment. But they're great tracks. They look great in HD. FZero deserves an HD game. Bring FZero back, Nintendo, please. Same gameplay style as FZero GX. Maybe a little bit better controls in some parts of the game, but better visuals as well. You can definitely see what the game would look like in high definition, and that would be outstanding. But definitely deserves another entry by now. It's been, 14, 15 years? But anyway, next one would be Terraria. I know people pronounce Terraria, but I've always heard Terraria from friends. So that's what I'm going to call it, and I'm going to keep on calling it. Terraria was something I actually despised when it first came out, and what people were talking about this game. It's like, mainly because I just didn't like the art style at first. And I got this game for, I think, maybe $10 or less on clearance, because no one was buying it. But I got it, and it's surprisingly fun for a while. It can get repetitive and boring at times, but I do think it is an okay game, and I think it at least deserves a Switch version. If it is on Switch, then I haven't paid attention very well. But if it isn't, definitely deserves an actual physical copy release, not just a digital Minecraft. Because you were out digitally first, then physically, which took ages. Terraria better not do that. I would just want a physical Switch copy so I can grab the game and play anywhere I want to go. And I know this one on 3DS and it looks good, but I'd rather have it on Switch because the Wii U version is really good. I really like this game. The loading times are the only downside. And then another choice I don't have as well, Kid Icarus Uprising. We need a new Kid Icarus Uprising game. I do think the first game of Kid Icarus was okay, nothing special, nothing great, but they finally made a sequel in 2011? No. 2012, I think it was. 2012 or 2013? I think it was 2012. Kid Icarus Uprising came out on 3DS, and I did an unboxing for it, and it's still up on my channel. I don't have that game anymore. My younger self, I want to hurt right now because I really miss Kid Icarus Uprising, and I had the special edition one. Man, I was desperate at times for money to get things. But anyway, I really do think that Kid Icarus Uprising definitely deserves a sequel on the Switch with HD visuals, similar gameplay, but have the analog control as as it has the better option. I honestly liked the touchscreen controls as well. It never really cramped my hands that much, like most people it did, but it didn't bother me in the slightest. Very rare times if I played for hours, then it would. But the gameplay is great. The visuals are good for the game, and then would be amazing on the Switch as well. The storyline was hilarious. Palutena and Viridi and every character. It was just a great game. There's some minor things I didn't like in it, like some of the characters weren't my favorite. Like Hades, I don't like him. He's annoying. But anyway, Kid Icarus Uprising deserves a new game, and Sakurai, if you ever get a break from Smash, that'd be a game I would like to see. And then my last honorable mention would be Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I would want a sequel, not another Wii U port, Nintendo. This game was not really necessary to ever even have a port on the Switch because it just didn't need one. This game only came out in 2014, and it released a port just 4 years later. This game looks amazing on Wii U, and I think it was very, I would say not really underrated because it got good reviews. It just didn't sell too much. Now, they definitely need a new Captain Toad game because this game was great. Very short, but very fun. I would like to see them expand more on this. And I know that the Switch version got Odyssey stages and it's not worth buying. No. I already have it on Wii U and I don't need to buy it again. But anyway, worth your time if you don't have it on the Wii U. If you have a Wii U, get it. If you have a Switch, I guess get that version. But the Wii U version is where it originated, and I think it deserves to have a sequel. But anyway, last but certainly not least, we need a new Super Mario Galaxy game for the Switch. The last one we had was in 2010, 8 years ago, on the Nintendo Wii, Super Mario Galaxy 2. I do have that one digitally on my Wii U rather than physically because the eShop had it, and I was stupid not to get the physical copy. Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2 are fantastic games. Galaxy 2 is my favorite of the two. Galaxy has been loved since the game came out in 2007, and I cannot believe it's been 11 years since this one came out. Man, time went by so fast. The visuals still look good to this day, and it's 7 years old. No, 11 years old. 7 years old for the... No, 8 years for the sequel. But anyway, Galaxy definitely deserves a sequel. And if you haven't played this game, you can get it for $20 new. This is the original copy. Well, at least the case is. The disc is not. Someone swapped it out. Anyway, this game's worth your time, and I definitely think this game needs a sequel. Super Mario Galaxy 3, please, on Switch. It will look amazing in high definition. I mean, Odyssey looks great and all, but this one has a better art style, in my personal opinion. I really like Super Mario Odyssey, but I think and its art style as well. But this one had more of like a plasticky look on Odyssey, which wasn't my favorite thing. Galaxy had that art style that I really liked, and I think they should revisit when they do a Super Mario Galaxy 3, or even a remake of, or an HD remake like they did with Wind Waker for the Wii U. Something like that. An HD remake of Galaxy and Galaxy 2 would be as nice for now until we can get Galaxy 3. Tell me in the comments below what you guys and girls think about this video, and what do you think about my list. What would you want to see on the Switch? No Wii U ports, though, on this list. Brand new games, sequels, old games from at least the Wii and older would be on the Switch. What that you'd like to see. So with anything from the Wii, the GameCube, the N64, SNES, NES, Xbox Original, Xbox 360, PlayStation 2, 3, but at least like the ones that you know that go multi-platform, not the exclusives. But tell me what you think about my list. Which ones did you think on the list that you think were worth getting us, like a sequel or a remake or a collection on the Switch? Tell me your list. See you guys next time. God bless.